at some point we hear this huge roar from the crowd, everyone cheering for like huge energy in the room all of a sudden. And I remember looking over there, looking back, and then the click coming in my head, turning to you and being like, DKP uh was paired against like a 10 or 11-year old. There's only one reason the crowd is cheering that loud. And sure enough, Aiden had just defeated DKP to be like the youngest Golden Mickey holder, but really like someone who nobody would have seen as being to top 16. Good evening, Inspill Glimmers, and welcome to this Milwaukee recap episode. Drew, welcome back to Quebec.
Hello, glad to be back.
We had quite the weekend, you and I. We won't talk about our performances. No, we will, but
We
we
will, but
didn't achieve our main objectives, but still, quite a fun weekend. Lots of stories to share, lots of moments to remember. But how did you enjoy the show? How did you enjoy the event?
let's say it's kind of a mixed bag for me. We'll get into it like a bit, probably a bit later. I don't want to fall into like a full-on sob story. I'm very very disappointed with my results, though I tried as good as I could to just not let it show during the weekend, to have everyone have a good time, to like there were a lot of people that were there for the first time at the DLC, including you, including your son. I want to make sure that you guys got away with the best of it, and I think you did.
I hate to break it to you, it showed.
Know what?
I said I hate to break it to you, but it showed. But it's fine. Like we could understand it as well. Like we knew how much you were aiming for it, how much you prepped for it, so we could easily understand. But yeah, it's part of the game. It's disappointing when that happens, obviously.
Yeah, whatever. Like I said, I'll tell everybody like what's about it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
afterwards. But yeah, I got away that you guys had a blast. Like you got with to all your goals almost.
I mean, we got to our main goal, which was get 3 wins, get the Mulan. Oh, and we got out. Like it's half sweet and half sour. We got out as fast as we could, which means we went 3-3.
Yeah.
So it's good in the sense that okay, we had our 3 wins after 6 matches and our 3 losses, so we didn't have to chase the Mulan like on the 7th or 8th round like some of our friends did.
Yeah.
So that's the good part. Like when we did go 3-3, but at the same time, we didn't have a chance at any point to really chase day two. Like we were 3-3, so it was like, well, round 6, day's over. Let's go grab dinner. So it's a little bittersweet in that sense. Definitely wished we performed better. And on my side, lots of lost die rolls
Yeah.
and only 2 decks like all day. Only Blur Pearl and Purple Steel. That's all I faced.
Yeah, I like as a kind of a wink, like I'm already preparing for next set. I already started playing with the guys from Sherbrooke. Like the new format looks awesome compared
I've heard
to,
great things about it, so
yeah,
can't
we're
wait
talking,
to dive into it.
yeah,
But
we're
no,
talking to our
overall,
friends, we're also talking to our friends Pierre-Marc and Patrick that also started trying the format, and they're all really really excited about it. So
yeah, we will be diving a little bit more on our next episode in this with the set review with both Sailor and Devoted on this. But no, as far as the event goes, main goal achieved. Second day with Infinity didn't go as well, but still had a blast. Definitely showed there's a lot of fun to be had in Infinity. I can't wait for Infinity Weekend because of that. The format was a bit wider. It's definitely more in depth than even like last set was. There's some fun tech in set 9 coming to Infinity. Had a lot of fun there, but I'm not sure it convinced me to like start chasing DLCs and start like going and competing and all that. It was a cool experience. I'm happy with it. Happier with everything that didn't have to do with the competition side of it. So we will see in the future when they come back how I'm gonna approach him. I'm definitely not going to try for Richmond and Indianapolis though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is probably a good segue to for me to talk about kind of my experience and about like that kind of blues that I've been having since coming back. Uh like this like competitive mindset, this competitive lifestyle is a grind and is can be brutal on the nerves at some point, especially with the formula that we've been having in this second season. There are less DLCs. Tickets are not, I want to say, a given. They're they're not hard to get, but they're not easy either to get. This is probably what's been causing a bit of anxiety on my part. Is like, okay, I want my tickets for Richmond because I need. Well, I really want to try again for that nationals title, just to go back to nationals. That this is my main goal this season, and the thing is it's so much harder with cuts being a lot more cutthroat, less events to go to. Like if you remember last year it was like a DLC a month basically. So and like I got to go to 5 of them out of 6 months, which was a blast. And now you have to wait 3-ish months between every one of them. And like I said, cuts are very cutthroat. Diving into it a little bit, we can talk about Phil Asselin, who, congrats to him, he got his top 32 this weekend, but in Bologna 3 weeks ago. He missed. He bubbled out on the 33rd spot by points 16% of tie breaks. We can talk about Zan that got spot number 34 in here in Milwaukee, which I'm pretty sure he can be too happy about.
I'm
Because
sure he's not thrilled.
yeah, like it's and I think we dove into it and other content creators dove into it. Uh, it's it's even harder to take compared to last season where they were compensating you when you were doing the same score as the top bracket or something. Like if you were tied for top 128 with the same score, they were still giving you the promo Let It Go. Same thing with the Cinderella, etc., 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 etc. Now, like in Bologna, Phil didn't get the Elsa. He only got Simba. Uh, like we're not saying like give the invitation to everyone. We understand that you have to give only 32 invitations. You have logistics um, to respect there, but it's it's very disheartening, and there are some, I want to say, not easy fixes but at least logical fixes to it, like an extra round. We're going to talk about the logistics of the event that were kind of harsh this time around, where finals ended at past midnight.
Finals ended at past midnight. There was definitely some rough stuff on pastime side, from the preparation to the event to running the event itself, that definitely didn't go smoothly. Like I would have probably preferred an attendee pass, but even then, when I was looking at the attendee experience who were not competing, I'm not sure I would have done much of my weekend because of how the whole thing was run. So it's really hard to look at it and be like super thrilled with how things went. Like
Because like
almost 2 hour rounds every single time, with the super huge delays. Like we heard some weird judge calls because judges came from Magic being hired by Pastime and didn't really know Lorcana. So I've heard a few stories of judges treating the bag like the stack and just not understanding that the games are different. Uh, it's it's been rocky. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and just like during day two to get your ticks from any kind of side event, the lines were huge. I mean, just like going around the room, and those were just completely brutal.
I mean, even just doing on-demand side events was like a nightmare this weekend.
Yeah, you tried to do a pack rush, and you like,
We did one pack rush, took 25 minutes to get to start it. We did it between two rounds because we were like, hey, we have like 20 minutes till the stop of the round, plus about half an hour after the round before the next one starts. We should be good. We finished about right on time for round two to start. Because yeah, it took us like 30 to 40 minutes to get our tickets, and then when went to get our packs, and then when we got our packs, got seated, um, like wanted to check to make sure there wasn't an enchanted at the bottom of the pack, got almost yelled at by the judge who was
yeah,
there, not to look at my cards. Okay,
like
fine.
just shuffle your enchanted or your iconic in there,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I had an epic too, like in my pack.
yeah, that's not nothing, right? You don't
But
want
yeah,
to
it's
you don't want to damage your like $10-20 card, right?
for something that people are throwing literal hundreds of dollars at, it felt a bit weird. But on the other hand, the venue. The venue was amazing.
No, venue was great. It
Like,
was one of the
security was
best.
fast. The food was easy to get to. There were like three or four spots. They were like, there was almost no real line at any point in the event. They were running really fast. The prices were not exorbitant. Like, they were not cheap, but it wasn't terrible.
It's convention center food. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're expecting to pay about like $18 for a slice of pizza, a side, and a drink, right?
Yes, and something like that. But no, we had like a really good convention center experience. So really can't fault the convention center there. But the organization, like I've heard a lot of people complaining about the super sealed events that were 40 cards instead of 50, and Pastime defending the fact that oh no, it ran smoother at 40 cards. It was easier that way, even though World's format was 50, and a lot of people were confused about it. So
No, I'm not. Like I didn't hear all of that because it's probably I was like stuck in my tunnel vision of the event and what was happening. Also trying to cheer on my teammates that were still alive at that point. But yeah, no, I think that's what I was saying. Like I was comparing it like, and you can't help but compare, right, to the other events from last
mhm.
year, even though it's not the same organizer, even though that they probably have learned some stuff during the first year of organizing and whatnot on Ravensburger's part.
On
But
Ravensburger's side, yes, I'm pretty sure there was no handoff between the companies though, so I'm pretty sure Pastime is learning a few of these things the hard way.
and this is the I think it's the weirdest to me because I have to be full disclosure here. I've known Pastime from Magic. Like they've been handling Magic ever since the end of the pandemic. So late 2022. Like I went to a bunch of Magic cons in 2023. In 2024 also. Like I missed the DLC to go to one of their Magic
Mhm.
cons last year, and like organization is generally kind of great. I have to say, like I don't know if they were like unsure about stuff, if they were just I don't know. It didn't feel like it was them. That's the weirdest part about it, I want to say.
So the question I have for you regarding Magic: how popular is the prize wall at a Magic event?
Pretty pretty popular, I want to say.
Okay,
Cuz like they felt underprepared. Like
yeah, because they didn't feel like they were expecting the amount of people wanting stuff from the prize wall this time around.
the thing is in Magic, the prize wall is made a bit different. It's popular, but the best bang for your buck is the boosters. Here, in Milwaukee, everything was kind of good. Like everything
Hmm.
was scaled, I want to say.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that's why, like, it's, but it's still,
Most people didn't want boosters. Most people
yeah,
wanted the exclusive stuff from the event.
yeah. You wanted the promo, you wanted the pin, you wanted,
The
you know,
playmats, the hats, the
yeah. And that's the thing. Like it kind of felt weird to see some of the people running the the prize wall kind of being like a bit I don't want to say dismissive of the promos or whatnot, but I definitely heard stories where like they kind of were taking your ID to give you your promo, put the promo on your like ID card, rubbing it on the card,
which
like
is which is really funny because the people handling the Mulan promos were not the people from the prize wall.
yeah,
Because when you went to the prize wall, if you wanted a card, they would take out like two or three, lay them before you, and be like, choose the one you prefer,
yeah. Well,
and then you could choose like the one that looked the most perfect to you if you wanted.
that's what they did last year too. To be fair, like that's what they were doing with Cinderella's and
Okay.
Rapunzel's. But the promos you were getting from them, it was just like, here, take this. Like,
Well, yeah, you were in a chain. Like there was like 500 people trying to get their promo at the same time of you, and go 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 go. Like they don't
yeah.
care.
But still, like the prize wall, they were when I went to the prize wall at the end of Sunday, there was a huge line still, and they were
It was
still
terrible.
yeah, it was they were still taking the time to kind of show you the promo you wanted. Yeah, it was just very weird to see a company that I am used to seeing run very, I want to say, average to good events.
Hmm.
Uh, they're obviously not the best company I've seen running events. I've seen a lot of them in 10 years. Some of them were amazing. They were just like very professional and whatnot. Like I'm thinking about, I'm gonna name drop here. Star City Games. Star City Game are just mwah, like amazing at doing that. And like they're trying to run some Lorcana in their events, but it's not the same. Like I think they're having a CCQ at some point before the end of the year, but it's still not the main organizer for them. We among our group of friends, we wished that Star City would get the contract with Lorcana, and I was happy hearing about Pastime, and now after this weekend, I'm a bit, I want to say,
We'll see. We'll see how
chilled.
they adapt. But it's part of the reason I'm not thrilled about like chasing the other ones. To be completely fair,
And
because
and you're not the only one.
yeah, but like the event itself, to me, as a non-spike, like absolute competitor that needs to chase the thrill of competing, to me, it felt like a big set champ. Like
Mm,
it's a tournament. It didn't feel different to me than another tournament, apart from having more people in the room.
yeah.
I didn't feel more thrilled when winning or more bummed when losing. Sure, the prizes were cooler. That's fine. But even then, Ras, who's a viewer, made day two and was barely at half of what he wanted. And since he did day two and didn't perform in day two, he had no way of getting a playmat like he wanted and
Mm,
had to like get away with his tickets because he couldn't even have done like pack rush to get the remainder because the pack rush line was so long.
yeah.
Like even if he had wanted to grind it all day, he would have done like I don't know 5 of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like in other events, maybe they were a bit too liberal, and that's what they didn't like about it. Like I remember in Fort Worth, they were literally just like, "Oh, you're sitting down with the other person in the pack rush zone. A judge comes to hand you the packs, and if you're still sitting and like finish playing, they're just passing like, you want to do another one? Yeah, no problem. Like
Yeah,
like it was not even with vouchers, you were just like paying up front. And maybe that was a bit too liberal because it was kind of like buying takes at that point.
I mean that's what most of these events are. To be fair,
Yeah,
Like
they
they weren't shying away with pastime either. You had like when they started Infinity, you had the option to write instead of giving your sheet, I just want my promo in text, and that's it. Like instead of giving your deck list.
yeah, yeah.
They mentioned it like in the player meeting, well, in like before the first round, and the judge addressed everyone. He was like, either you give me a deck list or you give me a sheet that says I just want my promo and tickets, and that's it. It's like okay,
Yeah, it was a way to get the promo easily, I feel, but anyway.
it was a fun event. I still feel like it was a better event than the main event. Sadly,
Yeah, in a way, like I can kind of talk about like my feeling about the main event now because you're saying like you didn't feel the need to kind of like chase for the other DLCs. Even my competitive group that have the same aspirations as I do are on the fence about going to like they all said like Richmond is a no-brainer, Indianapolis is a no-brainer. We're gonna try for them because they're like NA, so
close-ish.
yeah, they're the closest. But like I had some people that were kind of thrilled about going to Ghent, and like now they're if nothing changes, if they run it the same way as they did last weekend, not very interested in living that after spending like multiple thousands of dollars traveling and like accommodations and whatnot.
But still, it was a very interesting weekend on the competitive front. Frank Karsten brought a deck full of one-ofs that managed to win the full event, surprising everyone who was looking at his deck list. He definitely went with a toolbox approach.
He's a machine. Like he's a teammate of Pat, and like Pat was telling us of how he was approaching the building of the list. Like he was telling about it in our friend's podcast, The Uninkables, that we were listening while coming back to Quebec. Like I was driving back to Quebec, and the guys wanted to listen to the podcast, and like Pat was telling like, okay, Frank was. Uh, talking about every card, every one of as a chess piece with a number of points. That in this matchup, it is that number of points and that
Wow.
number of like the guy's a machine. Like
Yeah.
I knew the guy from Magic, and that he was like he was called the calculator. You know when you have that.
Yeah, no, he's a great like mathematical mind. I think even in Lorcana it's pretty well known. But no, he won the event. All the congratulations to him. Well deserved win. But that's not the most interesting win of the weekend.
No, there was a big clamor around the room when
Like we were sitting at the other complete other end of the room from where the main like top 16 was happening, you and I, and at some point we hear this huge roar from the crowd, everyone cheering for like huge energy in the room all of a sudden. And I remember looking over there, looking back, and then the click coming in my head, turning to you and being like, DKP uh was paired against like a 10 or 11-year old. There's only one reason the crowd is cheering that loud. And sure enough, Aiden had just defeated DKP to be like the youngest Golden Mickey holder, but really like someone who nobody would have seen as being to top 16 when we started the event, probably. Like, this is an amazing feat. Everyone was super emotional in the room. I'm still a bit emotional talking about it. The kid was taking it like a champ, too.
yeah, and that's the fun part. Like just after that, we had to play our last round of the Infinity tournament, and I played against his dad, but his dad was like so emotional. We were just able to get through one game. He was like, "No, I'm not in the right headspace. Like I have to go." And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, go watch him. Like go be there for
Yeah,
him."
yeah,
And he was like, "No, I can't even watch. I'm too stressed for that."
yeah. Oh, man, that must have been wild.
Because that's the thing. Like I was telling him, like I was just trying to be like a good sport. He was like, I was telling him like, yeah, if you get the golden Mickey, like, what are you going to do with it? Like, I told him what I did with mine.
Hmm.
So, and he was like, he'll do whatever he wants with it. And I'm like, yeah, that's completely fair.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Some of the guys were discussing like, well, that kid just won like $30,000 or something,
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm not even sure. Like, if my son would have made it there, the cost for you to bring him there remains the same. And you have a kid that just defeated the world champion, that just did what 95+% of the room wasn't able to do in terms of performance. If the kid wants to get it slabbed, put it on the wall in his room, I'm not sure I'd be able to tell him no. Like, I'm not sure I'd
no,
be able to be like, yeah, but money. It's not about money at that point, at that age. Like, you,
no, it's
as
a
a father, I would have been like, I don't care how much that thing's worth. That's your trophy.
yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, it's such an emotional kind of piece. Like, I remember I decided to keep my Cinderella, and I knew that I didn't want to keep the Mickey because, adult life and real life stuff and whatnot. Like, I'm not gonna be shy about it. I needed that money for other stuff, but
Yeah, and like it paid your
whole
like your
year of
competitive
tournament,
year for like, so that's fine.
yeah. But like, it's totally fair to keep that as a trophy, and like have a very very good memory. Like, that kid, when he'll be like my age or even your age, could tell his kids like, when I was 10, I beat the world champion in that card game, if ever that card game still exists at that point and whatnot. You're like, it's a very dear memory, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, and that's kind of what I was trying to allude to when I was talking about the grind mindset and whatnot, for me at least, and for like the other spikes in the community. Like, yes, you're chasing performance, but ultimately you're kind of also chasing those kind of moments. So
Oh yeah, no, like there's definitely rewards to like winning big games and getting farther ahead, getting like to challenge the best of the best and be like stand amongst them. I can I can see that. It's just not my thrill. Like, I had fun competing, but I'm not sure I would have had more fun doing like top 64 or top 32. I like sure I would have had shinier cards. That's cool, and I would have been, obviously proud of myself. But at the same time, you look at we discussed it a few times, you and I. It takes skills to be able to navigate when the luck is there for you to navigate. The problem is we have a lot of very skilled players who did not make it because, oh well, today wasn't my day, right? It's what happens.
yeah, like,
And then you need to have volume for those things to compound to be able to, oh yeah, I made 3 out of 6 top 32s or what have you. When you look at, DKPs and Frank and all of that, like when you look at their numbers, you need volume to be able to wash away the bad one. And you're like, oh yeah, sure, I didn't make top 32 that one. It's whatever.
yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, when you kind of achieve the goal, especially early on in the season, like, DKP has his invite now, Phil has his invite now, Frank has his invite and whatnot. It's so much easier to just go to other ones and be a bit less bothered about it. I remember when I went to Chicago, like, I wasn't even planning on going to Chicago. I went there and I played a trash pile, like a complete trash pile, just because I was like kind of boastful of. Pat had shown me a list while we were in the flight, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. What could go wrong? Like, if I don't if I don't top, I already have my invitation, right?
Hmm.
So
But
that's
no, so that was like an amazing moment of the weekend. I'm not willing to say it was my highlight though.
tell me about it then.
So Saturday night, we do like you and I and my son. We all do 3-3. So we're like, well, no point in staying for the last two rounds. We go out, we get dinner, go back to the room. We're chilling, and then at some point, our roommate texts us, and he's like, well, texts me, and he's like, oh, by the way, I'm in the lobby with Ras. If you want to come down, like, there's a few people down here playing and everything. It's chill. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go have a look. And they're down there with one of our players from Three Rivers, who's sitting like at a huge table in the lobby. And I look, and in front of him is Christian Romero, one of the artists that was doing the signing of the cards for the weekend. And then I look, and it's Liam, and it's JDZ, and it's Villain, and I'm like, what the heck's going on there? They're like, oh, I don't know. They asked him if he wanted to play, and they're just playing with him. And I went to see there. Naomi Kim, brand manager, is there and starts explaining to me that, oh yeah, they're trying this new format that maybe will take on, maybe will not. Like they're just trying to figure out if it's viable, if it's fun. It's like a multiplayer format where you have secret identity cards that you have to guess what the others are doing, but you also have central objectives that everyone's contributing to. And you might have teammates, but you don't know who they are. You might have adversaries, you don't know who they are.
Format
And
of the decks,
everyone's playing like everything.
whatever. They're
Yeah,
playing whatever. Our friend was playing his infinity
this
pile,
blue red
so
infinity pile.
would be prepared.
Christian, like Christian was playing Jafar illusions with brooms and stuff. Liam, I think, also had brooms in his deck. And then some of the guys were like on regular Blurple, or it
Yeah, no,
was
it was
all
wild.
over the place. It was a wild game. And, 7 players around the table, all fighting for objectives, backstabbing each other. Be prepared to just wipe everyone's board. It was a massive, massive game. And it was fun to watch, but really more so. Fun to interact with Naomi, with Josh, who's their infographics guys, learning that
Very nice
the
people.
other two players were Tate, their videographer, as well as one of the guys from game design, and just interacting with all of these guys, spending the evening just seeing them, have fun over this huge mess of a game and compete. Seeing Liam be like, oh, I think I'm winning at the end of the turn. And then Baker's like, no, I'm winning now. I'm backstabbing you. Just like, whole thing. It was great. And to me, that felt so much more like the Lorcana community, like having a blast. And it was reflected in every single member of what I will largely call Ravensburger staff, be it the actual Ravensburger staff or the casting staff that was on site. JDZ Villain, Rebecca, all of these guys who were and gals who were there. Everyone was there to have a blast, to make a great event, to celebrate the game, and it absolutely showed. Like we went outside for a few minutes with Coop and Villain
Baker.
and Baker, you and I, and like just had a chat.
Yeah, like they
And
were going for their smoke break between like
yeah,
a few segments, and like they were like super nice to just like give some time. Like you would assume like maybe they wanted to take it a bit more chill, but they were just like, yeah, no problem, guys. Like just like this and that and this and that. I talked to Coop, and you did too. Actually, like we got confirmation of some of the hunches we had about this season and about next season, about how much they look forward to season 3 of competitive
yeah,
play. Like he was telling me at length, like he didn't give me any like insight, whatnot, but he told me the stuff like, oh, we're really hoping for Toronto or Montreal DLC for season 3. We're super bummed not having a DLC in Canada. Like we love going there. Like, you know, very nice people, and like Baker, just like a sweetheart, a sweetheart. Like,
absolute sweetheart of a guy, right?
yeah,
He he was just super nice. And even like the last day when we were leaving, he was just there chilling, preparing for his flight. Just I called him casual bake, like because he was like in sweats and everything instead of his suit. I'm like, oh my god, casual baker. And he looks at me, he's like, yeah, the non-enchanted version.
No, like these people are so great, and like this is what I was telling Naomi when we were in the lobby. Like the thing is that is so refreshing and so I want to say endearing and amazing about the Lorcana community is everybody that is making the game is also like a huge fan of the game. You know, like she was telling me about how she collected too, and like she has a collection she likes, this and that enchanted and whatnot. Like it's not just a product they're trying to push toward us to for us to eat up like
Yeah,
some
no,
other companies feel like they're
they're
doing.
in it as well because yesterday today actually Rochelle was talking in the main channel about we were talking enchanted and she was like, oh yeah, I used to not have my Ting Giant Fairy enchanted, and then I finally traded for one, and not long afterwards, I was able to get like a Chinese and a Japanese one. So now, like, I'm just one off of my playset, and I was like, oh yeah, I went, the Chinese route for my stitches as well. And she's like, oh, I don't have the stitch yet, and you can tell that they're invested in the game as much as we are, even though they're the ones working on it day in day out. They could easily be like, I see that all day. I don't want to think about it at night.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like that, this is the feeling you get from other companies and other like mediums. And like I said, like you can feel some other companies sometimes try with some products they're trying to push them towards you more than being impassionate about it. As of like Lorcana, they were talking about every product. Naomi was telling about the format and she was like super, super invested. And
Yeah, you
like,
can tell this is like a fun for. It's not something they're trying to push commercially. It's something they're like, oh, we're experimenting with it, and we want to see like, could it work? Could it actually be a viable thing, viable way to approach this game in a different fashion than how it's played right now? And like, next we're gonna look at build like deck build restrictions. Can we do this? Can we do that? How? And you can tell they're just loving what they're doing right there.
and yeah, that's the thing. Like, this is what makes the community so amazing. Like, I was talking to people that were, sorry, podcasters, content creators, everybody. Like, they enjoy what they're doing more than just having a pool. It's it's such an authentic experience, right?
Yeah. Like people often say that no matter how much Ravensburger messes up, DLCs are still going to be a success because of the community that's there. I can definitely say this weekend, like this was the case. There were some really good things, like getting our pairings was super easy. I know some people had problems with reporting. I didn't have a single problem reporting all weekend long. Um, they were always posting paper pairings in a way that was super easy for everyone to get to and to get to their table in time. There were for all the nitpicking we're doing, there were things that were well done. But if we didn't have the Lorcana community, I don't think it would have been that amazing. Like the community is really what brought it up to the next level. Being able to like have people stop you to just cheer you on and like there was one guy I don't remember his name. He told Ras and he told Danik, but there was a Hispanic guy that first day was just doing all the tables one by one, just cheering people on, being this super unit of a like hype man for every single person in the room. And whenever you meet him in the weekend, he was just so excited to be there. It was contagious.
And that's the thing. Like, people are invested in this hobby at large. I've been like, that's the thing. At one of my matchups, the guy says, You look very familiar. Do you like? Are you like well known around here or something? I'm like, well, I wouldn't say well known. I had my time in the sun in top eight last year. If not, I have a podcast. You're like, what's the name of your podcast? Ink Spelled Glimmers. Oh yeah. I listen to you guys. I love you guys. I'm like, it was so nice to meet those people, right?
Yeah. So
So
no, it's been a blast to be fair. And looking at it, we'll see how things develop, obviously. I've been thinking about my approach. Like I've told you, I'm not going to chase the other two this year. Next year, we're going to see where they are. But with the judge program developing, there's a strong chance that if there's one in Montreal or Toronto, I might approach that one as a judge instead of as a
participant.
competitor.
Yeah.
So still get to be in the room, still get to have the experience, but as someone who has a different side of the experience to face, and I'll probably have a better experience that way. My son, he's probably going to go back to compete. Like
He
he
loves
had a
it.
blast. He didn't perform to his content, but he still did. 3-3 day one is above average. Like it's in the average. So he was happy with his result regardless. He met the goal he had given himself. Day two was a little bit more disappointing, but Infinity being what it is, we had broad decks, we hadn't really practiced. He ran into, I think, did he run into the same deck over and over? I don't remember. I know
It was
the
the story of
11.
the weekend.
Yeah.
Like you ran into the same deck over and over and over. I ran into the same deck over and over and
Yeah.
over. Like that's the thing. Meta is kind of polarized. If I can take like 6 seconds to talk about Infinity, like Ember Steel aggro is a big thing in there. Blue Steel is still a huge thing because
Blue steel and blue red
Flavershan.
items are both really, really prevalent.
Yeah, like I was playing Steel Song mid range. Had a field day when I played against Ember Steel aggro for the few rounds I did. But man, seeing four blue steels and one blue red in my record, yeah, that was rough. And proudly say I beat the blue red.
Oh, nice job. I didn't.
uh,
Although my last game was really like, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring something that I don't need to practice too much. I'm gonna bring Ember Steel aggro. It's gonna be fine. And like, I had 4 mirror matches to start the day,
Not easy
which they
with
they were they were interesting matches regardless. There were some there were some brain dead games of like, okay, one of us goes first and has removal, end of the game.
just going
But there
brrr.
were but there were also super interesting matches. But even the matches against Blue Steel and Blue Red, they were super close. They were interesting. I had super fun opponents, and we had an absolute blast playing the format. Even though I was playing the brain dead uh, deck, it was still like I was on the brink of winning every single match, even when they turned the corner, and it was like you don't have the opportunity to sneeze. Either you answer everything or I win. And it was like a few, like 3, 4, 5, 6 turns of, okay, how are you going to be able to deal? Like my very last match, I was one card off of my Pete that would have given me the game. And then, okay, they like, she be prepared. We were fighting it. And at some point, I'm like, okay, I have a Lilo. I bring back the Lilo. Top deck, Vinny. And I'm missing like 2 lore. I'm like, okay, play the Vinny. Okay, she has an answer for Vinny and can challenge the Lilo. It's fine. Bring back the Lido. Top deck. Vinny! Put Delphini down. Okay, she had the answer again. But it was still like this on and on and on. Like there's always a chance. And no, it was a really, really fun weekend. The matches were really fun, even though I didn't like care that much for the very top end, the big competition and all that. Being able to, challenge yourself against the field is still a good feeling. But I wish the field had been a little wider than three decks in one meta and three decks in the other.
Yeah, no. Like I like, and it's a nice segue into like kind of like the send off of this episode. Like like I said earlier, we already started practicing on our end with the new set. The new set looks great, just looks amazing. It's the most hype I've been in a while, and not saying that sets haven't been good as of now. Like sets have been like cool. Like I loved set 6, I loved set 7, set 8 was okay. Set 9, I have to say, was probably a bit more of
No, it
of a
felt like
slow.
set. It felt like set two. To be fair.
Yeah, no, it's, and we discussed this when we were down in the
Hmm.
lobby. Probably feels like one of the weakest metagames we've had ever since set 2, which was by far the worst one.
I
Like,
I know some people got confirmation over the weekend that it wasn't supposed to come out at that like set nine was not supposed to be the first rotation. It was kind of rushed in at some point. We don't know the detail. Like I haven't heard this directly, but I some people talked with Ravensburger staff during the event and were saying that they kind of got off the record confirmation that set nine was not supposed to be rotation already. That they had to push it up a little fast, which means it kind of broke the meta that was supposed to be there in order to do this cycle. So it wasn't as planned out as the other sets usually are.
okay, because that's kind of weird. Because I heard from other ends that they really wanted to do away with, which is probably in line with that. They want to do away with some of the very powerhouse C cards from set number 1 and 2 by the same fashion. I know, like in East Asia, the format works a little differently, and they will have rotation in set 12 after set 12 actually, which
Okay.
is which is kind of weird. Again, it's just like scheduling and like release dates and whatnot,
Hmm.
which is still different than what they have in China and in Japan. That they're a bit, I want to say, out of phase with us.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not behind the scenes. I can't know about it. All I have to say is like set 10 looks amazing, amazing, amazing. You
I'll
will
be
see.
I'll be curious to talk about this next week with you and Sailor and Devoted because the early reports I got was that there was a lot of blue decks available. I
Yes.
haven't heard a lot about the rest, and if it's like six blue decks, I'm not sure I'm ready to call it amazing.
Uh, I think people have to browse around and see what's available to them. Like I've been really high on a blue deck, sadly, but you know, the feeling has been really amazing. Like I've tested a lot against a non-blue deck that feels very good. It's a bit of an evolution of what we had this set with purple steel, and purple steel feels very very strong again. Like it has gotten a few tools that made it even more consistent, and I think it's going to be a benchmark in day one. Uh,
I'll be curious to see because like decks will need to be a lot more unique and fun. And so far, what I'm hearing people brewing, like you're super hyped about it, but it's also your kind of decks that
yeah,
are getting like all the good tools and all the gravy.
yeah.
For me, if it's more like if it's even more of the like control, 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 win the game, control, 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 and oh, which version of control, 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 win the game do you want? It's gonna be like eh, and even like purple steel that was mid range was like the blandiest of mid range ever.
Yeah,
You
now it's like a very high value deck. Like everything cantrips, everything like it feels a lot better than what it has been doing this meta. That's what I
I,
have to
I hope
say.
so. Like we'll see. I'm curious to see what people will come with, but I genuinely hope it's gonna be more varied than like if I take Infinity for an example. oh, we have two very good decks. One is blue red and the other is blue steel. Yeah, they're the same decks. It's just not the same tools to do the same thing.
Yeah. It's
And
a Flavisham core with some items, right?
yeah, and when I was talking to like what we're seeing emerge right now is like, oh yeah, you're gonna run ramp and spooky sites and like some removal depending on the color you're doing and some card drawing depending on the color you're doing, but like yeah, it's gonna be a ramp and spooky site, and then aggro's gonna be dead, and everyone rejoice, and like yeah, that's all gonna be the same deck in different colors.
Uh, I
I hope that's not what's gonna happen.
I think we're gonna have to think a lot more about how we're deck building, just by the fact that I'm giving an example of something we thought really early on is like Tiana. I don't think is a really good card anymore.
Probably not
Like
for now.
they've printed for Steel and Herald is Thunderbolt,
Yes,
the pseudo Zeus.
to the Zeus.
So yeah, no, that thing just takes away, like, it's massive. I have to say it's massive. I played a lot of decks with it because it's my kind of card. And like it's very, very good. The only thing is like you cannot still be running like not Cherno dogs, but I mean Sea Dogs
Oh no, that's
and Ember Steel, just relying on the Tiana. I think if you want to do that, you have to go a bit more over the top. You have to have disruption. I think maybe the aggro deck will probably shift to not being steel and maybe being uh blue
like
and yellow.
blue, yellow, ember, sapphire is the one like I'm curious to look into. A little bit Staxy with the Daisy Duck, a little bit like being able to navigate the two sides of Sapphire. So I'm curious to see what that's gonna do. Uh, I already have like we're gonna talk about it next week, but I already have a prediction on how the meta is gonna go. And as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't discount Ember Steel and Sea Dogs when the tournament time comes.
No, for sure. Even in the first weeks when people will try and get cute with very like flashy blue decks and like being very extravagant with that, and you just bring something super stable and just smash face with that.
Oh no, but what I mean is we talked about it in the car. Like I expect people to just wipe meta of the face of the wipe aggro of the face of the earth in the first few weeks, and then start slowly removing their anti-aggro tools because everyone's gonna try to go above each other, which will create a power vacuum where by the time the championships come around,
Aggro is
there's
back.
probably gonna be like, oh, one spooky site in the blue deck, and then you come around with your aggro deck, they don't find it or you remove it, and you just crush them because they're gonna be pure value piles without like early removal.
Yeah. Oh,
So we'll see.
I'm really like eager to see. I'm really eager to talk to Pat and Pierre-Marc to see what they think about the cards. Like I said, we've all already been working way hard at that. Like I said, if there's any takeaway, I'm still I've been left on my appetite with this DLC. Uh, First thing I said when we got out of the car on Sunday was, "Are we January yet? I want to be in Richmond now." Like,
Well, I hope you get to go. I hope you get your tickets and get to go. I'll be watching from the sidelines, playing on my Mulan playmat and
which
enjoying the
congratulations
shiny cards.
congratulations on reaching that. I know you had to, you know, get some help, but
No one was allowed to sell or buy tickets.
I said get some help.
No, I know we had to get creative. Let's put it that way.
Hmm. A lot of
But no,
handshaking.
the, the sad thing to me was how hard these things were to get. Like I understand the playmat is something else, but even some of the promos, if you didn't make day two, some of the promos were almost unattainable for the non-foil versions, and I was like, that's heartbreaking for a lot of people.
That's a great point you bring there. Like I remember last year by just having a an average score in the main event, you were able to buy one of each promo or almost, if I remember correctly. And now
Well,
I
they do
did,
give you the Mulan foil for 3 wins. So like I think
yeah,
that's the trade-off that they went with.
yeah, but still, like the payoffs for the for the events were not great. I got still a positive record in the Infinity
Hmm.
tournament, and I didn't have enough to buy most of the promos.
I mean, with because you went 4-3, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, with 4-3,
it
I'm not
was
even sure you had enough for the Mulan. Like you definitely didn't have enough for the Simba or the
not even the Let It Go. I was off a
yeah.
hundred ticks for the Let It Go.
Yeah. No, it's the like I think the best news in all of that is that when talking to most people, the Pegasus was everyone's favorite promo in terms of the art and how much like people wanted it.
Yeah,
So it was the cheapest one. That's good.
yeah, but still, like that's the
But
thing.
like I
Like,
would have liked to bring back, you know, a non-foil Simba, even though I doubt I'm gonna play it. Like it would have been a cool souvenir, but that was like 7,000 ticks, which is
like $300.
yeah, give or take. If you convert from packs to dollars, like from packs to ticks to dollars, so it's really expensive for non-foil promos, is what I have to say. Especially
Exactly.
when a cap was 2,500 ticks. You could get 3 baseball hats for one Simba or one Elsa promo non-foil.
Mm, that's the thing. Like they went to from them being really easy to get last year. Like it was getting increasingly easy to get them by the DLC, and still they were selling for pre-prices. I have to
Yeah,
say
no, they were playable cards. That's the other thing, right? Whereas the Elsa and the Simba,
they're not
not
the
at
Mul.
least the Simba, not right now.
Yeah, the Mulan also is not very playable right now. Pegasus was playable back then.
Play like Pegasus. If there's an aggro deck coming around the corner, still is a 1/1 evasive at the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, like I think there is still some kind of internal balancing that has to be done on Pastime's part. Like I wouldn't be too surprised to see the next prize wall being readjusted. Well, I sure hope they do, because not being able to get the prizes in like a satisfactory quantity is just kind of meh to your players, right?
Yeah, because the only event, actually the only event that could get you a playmat was going 7-0
In the
in
Infinity.
Infinity.
Or or you were like mega close with 6-1, right?
Yeah. 6-1 was close, but still wasn't like on it. Like the only one that outright gave you, and it gave you like almost 2 playmats.
Yeah.
That's beside the point.
Yeah, no,
Any
that's
other event that you did well, including the main event, including everything, did not give you enough to get a playmat.
yeah. No,
And you're
that's
seeing it; they're selling for $1,200 now.
yeah, no, it's so weird. Like last year I remember it like I did an okay score. No, I did a good score in Fort Worth to get my Cinderella playmat, but they also like gave me a t-shirt to boot with that and whatnot. I was like, okay, if you're just giving me value here. And now it was just so hard, so cutthroat.
Oh well. Anyways, we will see you guys next week for the set review just before it comes out. So stay ahead on that.
Yep, and
And
also, I don't know if you want to tell people right now as the near future for
yeah,
the
the schedule is going to be a bit messed up coming up. We have various events Drew and I need to attend to during weekends, and with your new work schedule, it's a little harder to get together for let's play videos for streams. So we might have a few weeks where content is a bit drier, is a bit like pre-recorded. There's no live streams, but it's coming back at some point, probably around late November. We're gonna have a few pre-recorded videos before that,
yeah,
so
I'm
stay
gonna
tuned.
like I know I'm gonna try to have some things for churning out some decks early on in the in the lifespan of Whispers, while you will be a bit more caught up with other stuff. So we'll see how we get that to you guys, but I'll try to stay with you early on. Then you'll take the puck back, and then we can get back together.
Of course, before the end of the year, we will meet again on the live stream. Don't worry about that. But until then, DLC's done. Good experience overall, stuff to learn. We're going to get back into the grind, and I guess we're going to keep questing.